Hi, this is Ark, and in this guide I'm going to show you how you go about setting up your own event for the kin using the calendar, which is a tool available on the kin website. So of course go to the address as you know, and once you're on here and logged in, you will then need to click on, of course, calendar. And then what you'll be met with is a screen which gives you an overview of the month as a whole. So obviously for June you can see there are quite a number of events on for each day or so, some gaps here or there, but you know, it's understandable. And so let's say for example on the 23rd I wanted to go ahead and set up a Kandom event, for example. So what I would do and what you would do is click the add event button on the top right hand corner here. You'll then need to give your event a name. Now, best practice is really to describe exactly what it is you're doing. So in other words, Kandom, you know, it could be a Slayer deed, you know, for the bosses there. You should then specify what level that is, and you can find that usually within the the quest log itself, or generally the sort of entry level for that area. So for Kandom it's 48 or more, level 48 or more, sorry. For certain other instances, and then this sort of comes into Moria content, some of that, as well as Mirkwood. Again, this is for more of the raiding stuff in those two areas. And this is all the latter game stuff, end game stuff if you like to use that word. You would want to say if there's a certain minimum level of radiance that's needed. So again, put radiance or rad and how much there is. So for example, if this was a watcher run, the raid, you put 45 plus. Okay, but we don't need that for Kandom, so I won't obviously include that. So in here you have your text box, and you have your tools above that, how you can have your text appear in bold, italic, underline and strike through. You then have a few other buttons here like insert image, insert a URL or a link or hyperlink, make text an item tooltip. Now this is something else entirely which I'll cover in a moment. And then you've got insert a YouTube video, as well as a Vimeo video, which is again I guess something akin to YouTube. I've never used it, to be honest. And also emotes, which generally people know offhand anyway. This one they wouldn't be too concerned with is BB code help, but it gives you some sort of insight as to what BB code is. Now let's say for example I did want to create a link to something in here. So I would just click on, make a link via the link button as we mentioned earlier, and I'll just link to the main lotro website, the turbine one. So this is how it would appear. The bit that you really need to be concerned with in the case of a link is how the text would appear that would act like a link. So you would sort of put in here, like for example for this one, official lotro website turbine. Okay, and so when this closes, I'll show you then as to how that would appear, as you may already know. Now in the text box you want to really put in as much information about the event itself, you know, what your intentions are when you're running it, or when you're going for it rather, what you're looking to do, what your aim is. Also include in there, for example, any links to any helpful information that might be suitable. Might be a link to a topic in the forum that we have, or off-site, whatever. Might be images you want to include, or even a video of something related to that event. You know, I mean, some people like guides to sort of be included, so you know, by all means link a video guide into it. You can do that using the YouTube one, for example. Now as I said, make an item a tooltip. You can do that by putting the something in between. If I can get the damn thing to click, there we go. So item. Yeah. So what you want to actually specify in here is basically, I mean, it could be, I'm just trying to think now what could be a good sort of indication of an item. So I mean, it could be anything like a symbol of Celebrimbor. You know, you could do that. I think this will work. symbol of celebrumble. I might have that spelling correct, so it may not show up. I mean, if I have got it spelled wrong, it won't work. But basically, when you put the item name as it is in the game into here, it will hyperlink it. Basically, when somebody mouses over that, what they will see is a tooltip or a little sort of mini window that will appear with the information in it, just like as if you were to mouse over it in game. Okay, so it's helpful for when maybe there are certain quest rewards or items that you find in this particular instance, let's say Calendar, you know, and you can then put those in there and link it directly. So let's see, a medallion of passage, I think if I remember rightly, comes in Calendar. So that could be one. So anything really, anything. I mean, you can put anything in there. The key is detail, so do as much as possible in there. Date and time is quite self-explanatory, and essentially, you know, it will default to the current date and time. And as we said, we want our event to be on the 23rd of June, so I would have selected then that day in June 2010. The time, of course, is currently at 11 because of the now time. I wanted to start the event at 9 o'clock in the evening. Now bear in mind that all the times are basically set around GMT time +1. It's sort of following the UK time differencing. So where we hit daylight savings, and the summer it would go ahead an hour against GMT. So if you're somebody who's in a country which sort of also follows time differencing, bear that in mind.